welcome to a very special episode of A Lost Cause. I'm Shawna.
I'm Annie.
And I am Dono, Annie's brother, who
Yes.
she despises for no reason whatsoever.
I don't think that is true, but we do have a very special guest. Over the course of the podcast, we've been providing updates on the rewatch that Annie is doing with her brother. And as of very recently,
We actually finished.
yeah. So, Dono, tell us what you thought of Lost.
It's really good. It's really good. It's great.
And everyone is wondering, did you cry?
I didn't cry.
Okay.
I came close, but I didn't cry.
Entire finale, I was crying.
Oh.
I started crying because I
she
saw
was just sobbing.
because I saw all of
It
our
was
friends in the
crazy.
credits, when
Yeah.
it's on screen, and I was like, ah! And I did actually stop crying for about 2 minutes when Saeed woke up.
It was 2
It just-
seconds.
Stopped me, but then I continued pretty much right after. And it was
That's-
weird, when I went to school the next day, my face was just puffy.
Oh, no. You cried that much. Wow.
Oh, yeah. That's strange, though, because that's the first time we see, Shannon, and we see Boone later times, but, it's the first time we see Boone and Shannon in a while.
A long time.
And it's the time she stops crying.
Well, I was
Because
mad at Saeed.
her hate for Saeed is just
So,
that
Dono,
strong.
we don't want to make a big deal about it, but, did you come close to crying?
Yeah.
Why do you think you didn't cry?
I came decently close. I don't know why I didn't cry. It probably didn't really, I just got, distracted a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I watched it very late at night, so I was very tired.
Okay.
So I probably just didn't really pay as close attention as Annie did, and it just took a while for, the greatness of Lost to sink in.
It does take a while. So do you think...
Not for me. I was hooked.
Yes, but,
So was
but
it.
Annie, even you must admit that you are more emotional on repeated viewings.
Yeah.
And I cry about the stupidest things too. When I'm not watching with Dono, I'll be crying all throughout my favorite episodes,
Mhm.
and there's no reason to be crying, but I am.
It just
Yeah.
evokes a lot
I
of
think-
emotions.
Instead of going to therapy, I process all my emotions through this TV show. No, and I legit think that because I never.
Sorry, guys. I ruined the podcast.
No, it's okay.
He has tuberculosis or
Yeah.
something.
I've been sick for
Quarantine.
I'll have some
Bronchitis. And anyways,
heroin stuff.
I don't know what my deal is, but I'm never that emotional through Lost, and I think it is when you see those emotions portrayed by incredible actors on the screen.
Oh, such good.
Then
actors.
it just everything comes out because that's what is going on.
I think that Annie has made such an insightful observation that Lost is a kind of emotional therapy. And, even though very few of us have been stranded on a supernatural island, we can all relate to parts of Lost, whether it's relationships or things that happen, and it's just depicted so deeply and so beautifully that I think our own emotions come to the surface as well.
Definitely.
I recently watched Stranger in a Strange Land.
Yeah, we hadn't
Because
watched
we
it.
skipped
Okay.
that one because Annie hates it.
I can't stand Bailing. She scares the crap out of me.
She wasn't that bad. She was just kind of weird.
But isn't it mostly the documentary
She had bad
that
hair.
made you have that?
Yes, but it's also that. And it's just a bad episode because Jack's almost a little bit abusive in
Yeah.
one of those
well,
scenes. And then,
he's just so mad.
and what's
and then he
happening
gets,
on the island, too, isn't interesting.
And then he gets beat up. It's pretty interesting. Juliet shot someone. Juliet has a gun. She needs
Yeah,
to
and that would... Shauna would be Isabel.
It's just to explain.
On the island because she's a lawyer. She does all the...
I'm Fat
AKA
Angela.
Fat Angela.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's cool to see how the others
Do justice.
do court and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to say the next day, I couldn't stop thinking about that scene with Carl and Sawyer when they're sitting on the log.
Right, that does
And
happen.
Carl's crying
does
about
it?
Alex, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Hey, I am tough."
Yeah, we talked about
He's
that
He's so
He's so
cute in
on
that part.
the Alex and Carl episode, and yeah, it's a great moment. So there you go. It has a redeeming quality to it. Well, today we are actually talking about one of my favorite characters, Richard Alpert. And when we first meet Richard, we discussed this on the Juliet episode. It's actually in Juliet's flashback, and we see how Richard and Ethan recruit Juliet to come to the island. So at that time, we think that, Richard is just...
By hitting her ex-husband with a bus.
Yeah. But we think that
Some
Richard
mean girls action there.
is just another other.
Please stop moving your foot.
Never.
But fairly soon, we start to get clues that there might be something a bit different about Richard. So, Annie, just tell us a little bit about that. When do we first kind of think, what's up with that?
Like, what's up with
that? We first find it out in the masterpiece, The Man Behind the Curtain. We talked about it before, and we see him as Pirate Richard.
That's right.
He encounters a young Benjamin Linus in the forest, and he's got some stuff going on with his hair,
his fashion.
So there's a couple things that stand out right off the bat.
Probably his smell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
just to sort of clarify, so why do you call him Pirate Richard?
I don't know. He kind of looks like a pirate. I think it must have been like in a behind the scenes thing or something. Because why did we start calling him
that he just looks like a pirate compared to how he usually looks. And so you just start calling him Pirate Richard because he looks so different. Because he's kind of got the long hair, sort of hippie thing going on. But there's something else that seems strange.
Oh, right. Well, you'd think that if, young Ben, probably young Richard too, right? Because they're, probably around the same age. No. Ben's young.
Mm-hmm.
Richard's the same age as he is now.
They mentioned that Frank J. Lapidus asks Ben about
I know,
that
I've already talked about that.
Okay, I apologize deeply.
Yeah, so other than his, pirate garb, he looks the same, which he shouldn't, because this happened, over 30 years before. So, why doesn't Richard age? Dono, why don't you explain?
So, can I make kind of a long explanation? Because I did want to...
Well... try to do a medium. Yeah, go ahead and give his backstory.
So, he had killed a man trying to get medicine for his wife. So then they were like, all right, well, if you can speak English, so we're not going to hang you now. We're going to take you to the mainland, and then we're going to hang you there.
And when was this?
Who knows when?
Yeah, it must have been 15 something.
I think it's at least 1700s.
Yeah. Because, yes, such a long time ago.
Right.
So then, on the way there, the storm is super bad. They see the statue. Some guys think it's the devil. They smash into it. And the guy who gets Richard on that boat just goes crazy, pretty much, and starts killing everyone. When he's about to kill Richard, the smoke monster comes in and kills everyone else, including the person who's going to kill Richard. But he leaves Richard. So then for these days, he just tortures Richard.
Yeah.
Then he finally appears to him.
Well, and then there's a boar that comes in.
And a boar that keeps him from escaping, essentially. And then he sees his wife, and she's like, oh, I need to save you. And he's like, don't save me, you need to run. So then she walks up these stairs and just instantly gets slaughtered by the smoke monster.
Well, slaughtered. We're gonna expand on that.
Later. So the smoke monster finally appears to him as person, and he's like, you're in hell. The only way to escape hell is by killing the devil, who smoke monster says is Jacob.
And it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so then he
I don't know
big explanation, this big spiel.
I don't know, I have no idea what Sunday school he was going to, but,
He gives this big spiel about how he needs to kill the devil. And then, so then Richard goes with this knife that Smokey gave him, and he sees Jacob, and he tries to kill him, and then Jacob's just like, and beats him up. And then he's like, no, you're not dead. And then Richard says something kind of smart. He's like, you need to step in. So then, like, whatever. So then he's like, wait, that's kind of smart. How would you like to be my number 2? And then so was born the very first number 2. And he's like, well, what will I get in return?
Well, and then
he gives
in
him
that
eternal
interaction, he actually touches him, and that's the
Yeah.
significance.
So then
because
we
he
get
gives
this
him-
beautiful picture of Jacob's hand on Richard's shoulder. And it's...
But there's something else he has to do for this whole number 2 thing to really kick in, and the anti-aging thing to start working.
What is it again? Does
He
have
needs
to-
to, like, drink something or
Yeah.
something? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He needs to drink some foreign beverage.
Yeah. That.
Yeah, and then does Jacob say, now you're like me? Does he say that to Richard?
I don't think he does. Because
I don't believe so.
That's just
Yeah,
That's when you
because-
become the
Yeah,
next
because
Jacob.
that's when you become the next Jacob, not the number 2.
Mhm.
So, and I believe this is when Jacob actually explains sort of the role of the island in the universe.
Yeah.
So, and we should mention, like, we get Richard's backstory way at the end. Like, it's one of the last episodes
yeah.
of the series. So it's filling in.
And that's Jacob's,
a
like,
lot of
first episode, really. Like, first
Well-
first flashback episode.
Yeah. So,
Yes,
and
it
only.
is.
so
It's his
how
only.
so how does Jacob kind of explain it to Richard?
Oh,
He
who
says
knows?
he takes this foreign beverage, as I said
I
earlier.
think it's wine.
Wine, whatever, doesn't matter. And he's like, all right, this is what you keep calling hell. There's other names for it: malevolence, evil, darkness. But it, like, if it ever gets out of this bottle, which is the universe, I suppose, it will spread. But the cork keeps it, and then he turns it upside down, and he's like, the cork keeps it out of, or keeps it in the bottle, so that it doesn't spread to the rest of the universe. And that cork is the island.
Very good. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
So we learn that's why Richard doesn't age. But I mean, it's one of the mysteries of the show for probably season 3 through the end of, like, why doesn't Richard seem to age? And we see Richard.
Well, in season 5 or 4, they do say something about, like, it was a gift from Richard. But we don't really see it.
What are you talking about?
Do they not?
What
I
was
thought
it?
I recalled them saying, like, I think Ben says to Son, like, oh, he's an advisor, he's had that role for a long time.
Oh yeah. Okay.
She says, why doesn't he age? And he says, like, it was a gift from Jacob, I think.
You said it was a
someone's-
gift from Richard.
Well, no, that could be.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then there's also that first little clue that when in The Man Behind the Curtain, Ben says to Richard, like, you remember birthdays, don't you? Like, so we kind of wonder about that. But as you were talking about Richard's wife appearing,
Mm-hmm.
We were discussing this right before.
yeah,
Because
like,
I have a whole deal about Emily
right.
appearing to young Ben. And then when I was watching that, I was like, oh, maybe this is the Emily thing. Like, maybe it is a ghost.
It's the
But
same force.
then again, it could be just the Man in Black trying to manipulate him into working for him, kind of.
Maybe.
But that doesn't totally make sense because he shouldn't have been able to get past the fence.
Can I share my theory?
Oh, no, I'm talking about Richard.
Isabella.
Like,
Oh, Isabella?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do we land on that?
I think, I don't know, because it could be the ghost, but also there's no reason that it shouldn't be the Man in Black.
But it's interesting that the Man in Black tries to convince Richard that he's already dead, because that is similar to what Dave kind of tries to convince Hurley of, right? Like, you're already
And
dead.
they're
or
both
this
in
is
the
what-
Black Rock being held prisoner.
Well, and we've talked about
what are you-
how we think
What are you
that
talking about?
we think that Dave is the Man in Black. So that's his
Oh, no,
backstory.
sorry, not Dave. I was thinking about Anthony Cooper as being held prisoner in the Black Rock. Like, his hands are tied behind his chair.
Oh,
yeah,
and
with
he also
Sawyer.
thinks
And
that-
he's like, a little hot for heaven, isn't it? If this isn't hell, where are we?
oh, Oh, look, Dono does impressions, so that's interesting. We have a guest that does some impressions.
Can I share my theory about Emily and
Yes.
Isabella? So, I don't think it's possible that it's the Man in Black. Because first of all, how could he get past the fence?
Oh, yeah, that's
But
For
also,
Emily, yeah.
also, Smoke Monster's biological mother appears to him in Across the Sea. So my theory is that there's some other unknown, unexplained force on the island, and that force was Isabella and Emily Linus
And mother.
Yes, and Smoke Monster and Jacob's biological mother.
We just call her mother.
But is it a force that makes those people actually appear, or is it impersonating them?
I think it's their actual ghost.
Well, I think it's like...
Because, I mean, think about Emily. She didn't want Ben to run into that fence. Think about how Isabella wanted to save Richard.
Right, they
so
have
it must
good
be
intentions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
So
that force makes them appear or something.
Richard's been alive for centuries, so we don't want to go through every stage of his life. But instead, we're going to just talk about our favorite Richards.
Okay, so should I pull it up?
Yeah. So as you loyal viewers know, Annie often keeps lists of her favorite.
I do keep lists.
Sort of versions of Lost characters.
So ignore the spelling.
Yeah. Okay.
My favorite Richards.
I was rushed.
Maybe you should start watching the show with subtitles.
So, give me a guess on what one is going to be. Don't! One is Pirate Richard. 2 is 1977 Richard.
Because she loves the Dharma Initiative.
Okay, yes.
3 is Bench Richard.
That's one of my favorite Richards, too. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's in 1974 when Richard has a conversation with James Ford, a.k.a. LaFleur.
4 is Suicidal Richard.
Wow, I'm surprised that's so high. And when is... give us a little backstory on that.
Okay, well, people make lots of Lost memes. And I saw this one, and this is what I'm going to explain it as. And it was like the video where he's walking, and he's like, there's just one thing I have to do. And Jack's like, and what's that? And he's like, die. And it was labeled, me after a minor inconvenience. Yeah. And I, always think of that whenever it's the scene. But, yeah, he, is upset because...
his life has no purpose.
Yeah, because Jacob died.
Jacob's gone, yeah.
And so now all these years were just wasted for nothing.
Is what he thinks.
Because it doesn't matter anyways. All this work he's gone through, trying to recruit John Locke, trying to save Ben, it has no meaning now because Jacob's dead and Jack's gonna take over, or Smokey's gonna get out anyway. So all these attempts, they don't work. So he's just
it's kind of similar to
man.
The time when Jesus dies on the cross and then in between his resurrection, his apostles or his disciples are completely
flabbergasted.
Yeah, and have lost their purpose and sense of direction.
Okay. 5 is Confuzzled Richard, aka Confused. Towards the end of the show, he's just always has this jaw open,
sort of perplexed expression.
Just traumatized kind of. 6 is 50s Richard, also known as the John Locke Richard, when he goes to visit John Locke in the hospital, and when he tries to recruit a very, very young John Locke. That kind of gets freaked out by him.
And the Jughead part, too, is also in the 50s.
Yeah. 7 is the Man Behind the Curtain Richard, but, not Pirate Richard, the President Island one, where he's kind of being rude to Ben. Yeah. Kind of some weird tension there, actually. Yes. 8 is No Sideways Richard.
Explain.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
You can't say that because there is no Sideways Richard, so that Richard doesn't exist.
Sideways has no Richard, which we'll talk about later.
Justice for Richard. Why is he not in the
That's
Sideways?
My thing.
Because he was on the island when Jack or Juliet blew it up.
9 is
He was
Pirate
on Galaxy, he
Richard,
was on-
but actually pirate.
But then Dono, sorry Annie, then
Ricardo.
why is Pierre Chang in the sideways?
Ooh, good point. Well, he might have left with his family.
That's true. He probably left it with his
Yeah,
family.
but we know that he didn't.
But he probably
sent
did.
them on the.
Because Miles is
But
alive.
Ben and Roger
Miles is alive. So
Ben and Roger got off the island last minute. So who's
Miles left. So probably his
So
dad
who's
went
to
with
say-
him.
Maybe, or went to find them.
yeah? So who's to say Pierre Chang didn't as well?
Can I continue?
Sure.
Pirate Richard, but actually pirate. Because, like,
Ricardo.
Pirate Richard we're always talking about, and I
Oh, yeah.
love Pirate Richard, but, like, actually pirate. Like on the
shipwrecked.
pirate ship.
Shipwrecked, Richard. There is a lot of sickness going around.
Other
Yeah,
Richards.
Hmm.
I don't think there's supposed to be an S. Other Richard, where he's just, like, being pure other, you know? Like, yeah, it's great. Wow. That's
Other Icor.
What?
No, sorry, Juliet Icor.
No, that's not what it says.
Yeah,
Nope. Juliet Richard.
Okay.
So in, like, the flashback, because he's so devious that he kills her ex-husband,
Yes.
that he just runs him right over.
Yeah, right over with a bus. So those are your favorite Richards.
Those are my favorite Richards.
Okay, well, I want to introduce a new segment. It's called Shawna's Burning Question, because Annie gets her hot take, but I want to have a burning question, and my burning question is Richard the best other?
No!
Well,
No.
depends what season. Depends what
Who's a
season.
better other than Richard?
Ben.
No.
Ben.
No.
Juliet.
Okay, Juliet. That's
Alex?
Juliet's good point.
I
Alex,
don't
Carl.
know if Juliet and Alex are like full others.
That's
because
true.
they're
I
sort
think
of
you're wrong.
unwilling others.
Wrong.
Carl calls himself an other though in Stranger in a Strange Land. So I'd say Carl is classified as another.
Also, he works for the others. He developed that thing, so Ethan.
Well, no.
No.
He's
Ethan's the worst.
He's devoted, and he
It was
is-
his idea to steal Claire's baby
No, it
and
wasn't.
hang Yeah, Juliet says he improvised. Remember?
Yeah, because they were literally catching on to them.
Well, before things get too heated, I think it's time for us to maybe take a little sort of, rest and take a look at Annie's art
Oh,
for this week.
So this was actually gifted to my weird sister who has a crush on Richard Alpert.
And she's in the living room for some reason.
This is my art. So he says, for Daisy from Annie.
Aw.
But ignore that. Pretend he's saying,
Yeah.
are you one of them? No, that's what, sorry.
That's what
Sorry,
Ben
guys.
said.
Here's my art. So I love this scene because he has glasses, and I love that, like, every character ends up getting glasses.
When does he have glasses?
When he's looking at the, like, thingy.
Oh, okay.
Then I had to have two Pirate Richards. So here's one Pirate Richard and here's one Pirate Richard. This is
Yapping to
Torch
Ben.
Richard. I really like this shirt. It's like a staple in the Richard Alpert. I drew his eye. Not too good. And then this is Mug Richard, which we need to talk about because these blue mugs are like a staple in the other community. And like they've had them since the 70s. And like they're iconic.
And Richard is seen drinking from these
Yes,
mugs.
when Charles is like crashing out and he's like, "Whoa, you brought one of them to the temple," and Richard has his mug and he's like, "Whoa!" And I've seen so many memes with that mug. But it's also in The Man Behind the Curtain. I think
When in the
Tom's drinking it.
in the 50s?
I told you in the 70s.
That is
How
dead.
come I never get these lost memes? I never get any lost
I
memes.
have like a Pinterest board with like thousands. I'll have to send you some. Actually, they're all just like brain rotted.
Really?
So as Dono explained, Richard is in the position called the number 2,
Yes.
which means that he is sort of the go-between between Jacob and the others.
Yes, we'll have a heated conversation about that.
So let's talk about it now. Does this add up? Does it make sense? So I'll give my point of view. I wonder if this is just something that like the showrunners decided to do after the fact, because like I said, we find this out, at the near end of the series.
Well, yes, but I'd kind of figured it out.
Because like if Richard really is the go-between all this time, there's certain things that kind of don't make sense to me. I find
Why
it hard
does he
to...
let John Locke and Ben go talk to Richard? Or go talk to Jacob?
Well, and I just find it hard to believe that
he doesn't, though.
Jacob is giving all of
these. Behind the curtain.
No, he doesn't.
In that behind the curtain, John and Ben talk to, or go to Jacob's cabin, think they're talking to Jacob.
But Richard wasn't going with them. Like, Richard didn't want to bring them to Jacob because he knew where Jacob actually was, and he knew that Ben didn't know where that actually was.
Okay, but that's another good point. Like, why does Richard allow Ben to, like, operate in this misapprehension that Jacob is in this cabin when he's not there? So, like, what is going on with Richard? Is Richard actively concealing things from Ben? Is he not communicating things properly? Is he sometimes just, like, not consulting Jacob?
Maybe Jacob doesn't want him to do all those things. Because Jacob had never really had a number two until Richard said something smart to him.
Because even if we go back to, like, the Widmore years, he wants Ben to, like, kill Rousseau and, actually had wanted him to even kill Alex. So, like, how come Richard is never... Because, I sometimes blame Jacob for, like, not intervening more. But maybe some of that onus would be on Richard.
Yeah, and I think so. And it also seems like in the 70s, he might not be telling the exact truth. Because I don't think that Ben was a candidate. I don't think that he was supposed to be the next Jacob. And so when he's talking about how the island chooses who the island chooses to Charles Widmore, I actually don't think that was true. I think
so
that
you actually think Ben was never a candidate?
I think that he was supposed to be recruited. I think that once Pirate Richard met Ben, he wanted to recruit him because he knew he could be useful if he's in the Dharma Initiative, but helping them. But I don't think that he was supposed to be a candidate because Jacob, I don't think, was happy that he... I don't know, I think Jacob maybe thought that he was never supposed to be saved or something like that. Because he's so mad at him.
Yeah, he does seem mad at him, and that's my question.
He's just constantly punishing Ben for...
Because, Ben says, and, like, sincerely, everything I did for Jacob. So, but he was getting his instructions not directly from Jacob, but supposedly from Richard.
So I do think that, like, maybe the leaders of the others aren't supposed to be Jacob.
I agree. They're two different positions, right? There's the leader of the others and
I think that Richard wasn't being honest with Ben because obviously Ben had this expectation to be the next Jacob, as he says in his rant
Did he want to be the next Jacob, or did he want to be the next leader of the others? Because
he is the leader of the others.
Leader.
Right.
Unless you say, like, Dogan is, but he's the leader of, like, his
I guess he wanted to be
the
appointed leader. Like, his whole beef with John Locke is that somehow the island / Jacob have sort of favored John in a way that, he was not favored.
And I mean, Ben says that he's not special, but Richard said he is, and Charles said he is, but Jacob didn't. Mm-hmm. So maybe Jacob never was supposed to be. Maybe Ben was never supposed to be the next Jacob, and maybe Richard wasn't, actually kind of, being the best go-between, like in between,
Yeah, that's the question. Yeah.
And another example is The Purge. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I think that was all orchestrated by Charles Widmore. There's no reason to say that Ben did it.
Well, he wasn't in charge. So
he wasn't in charge.
Ben couldn't make that level of decision.
A part of the Dharma Initiative.
Yeah.
And so I think that either it was just No, either it was Jacob or Richard wanted them dead, because Richard would definitely stop Charles because we see that Richard has this power over Charles. He says that Ben was special, and Charles believes him. So if Charles wanted to do the purge, and Richard talked to Jacob, and Jacob wasn't okay with it, he would get Charles to not do the purge. But they do it.
So yeah, there's a couple possibilities. Like either Jacob knew about it and was okay with it, or Richard just kept it from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's lots to think about when it comes to Richard. And then eventually we get a new number 2, which is actually Ben, right? So then, as he's no longer the number 2, then what happens to Richard?
Richard actually gets off the island, and he starts growing gray hair.
Yeah, he's
pretty
aging.
fast. I'm a little worried for him.
It doesn't really have that much significance.
Yes, it does.
How?
Because he didn't want to have an eternal life, and finally, he's gonna get to die, be in heaven with his wife.
Yeah, I think it would be hard to just kind of keep going indefinitely, like on the island anyways. And he seems perfectly happy to kind of age and embrace his mortality. So let's talk about, seeing how Richard doesn't show up in the Sideways. We sort of have to speculate, like, what do you think happened to Richard when he did get off the island? Because he's one of the very few people to get off the island and to be able to go back to civilization.
Well, when? Like when, after the
At the
purge
very
and they
end
used
of
a
the show.
submarine?
No, at the very end of the show, when, like, Lapidus and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that maybe... I don't know.
They better get him in a care home fast. By the pace he's
aging.
aging.
You think he's going to age, like, super fast?
Well,
or do you
think about how fast he got that gray hair.
I don't know, though. I mean, how old is he? Like, probably,
Doesn't
like,
look.
30, 35?
He doesn't look that young.
So I think he's at the age where he
He
would
get gray
naturally
hair.
No,
start to get
but I
gray
think
hairs.
that it's all just gonna, like...
He only got one gray hair,
I
Annie.
think it's just gonna, like, all come crashing down.
Like the
Wrinkles will start
like
to
the
develop.
witch mother from Rapunzel
Yes.
is going to be super
Just
fast.
like...
I don't think so.
Why
I
do you think that?
Because he's been this age for all this time, and then kind of once you press unpause, it'll be...
I think he'll just age naturally from whatever age he was at when it stopped, right? Say he was 35 when he, like, became the number 2. Now he'll just have a natural lifespan. What do we think would be a good job for Richard?
Like,
Well, he
like an
worked-
accountant.
Yeah.
Something boring, probably. He'd love a boring life.
You know what I think?
He would, but he's really good at
I think that Richard becomes an actor whose name is Nestor Carbonell, and
so stupid.
and he appears in The Dark Knight Returns. Or
Oh, yeah, because that actor.
You're so brilliant.
it's just like that
That
would be
is
so
pretty
funny.
dope.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset that we don't see Richard in the Sideways. But then it's interesting because maybe he doesn't really have anything to sort of redo, you know, like we often talk about. That's what the Sideways is for.
And he's probably underwater.
Yeah, also he would be
Charlie.
Yeah, it's possible that he... Okay, but going back to, like, my question about Pierre Chang, when we see him in the Sideways, is he missing a limb or hand?
I think he is. No. Yeah. No.
Because this, if
I
not,
don't remember.
Yes.
then that would
He's
support
only in it for
I
your
think he
theory.
is.
a very short amount of time.
Because if he is missing a hand, he probably was there for the incident. If not, maybe you guys are right and he managed to get off the island. Because, you know what, it is interesting in the Sideways he has a close relationship with Miles. So that would suggest that either he went with them or he came after them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the actor who plays Richard Alpert, Nestor Carbonell. He does participate on the Getting Lost documentary.
He's great on the documentary,
great.
actually.
I've
Yeah.
never watched the Getting Lost documentary.
Well, you still have something to look forward to then.
Yeah, I did.
No, there's no point. I'm
Because
boycotting
Bai-Ling is
it.
in it.
Yes, Bai-Ling.
Bai-Ling's in it, so it's just
Injustice
horrible,
to
obviously.
young Ben.
Oh, yeah.
Too much podcast.
Sterling Bell.
No one
Yeah,
cares about podcasts.
But we still really like it
Um,
and think it's a great documentary and highly recommend it. So, yeah, do you want to talk about what he says about the people saying in Spanish?
You talk about it.
Like in the documentary, he talks about fans coming up to
For
him.
some reason, like, just thinking about the documentary is making me so tired.
Okay, well,
I don't know why.
maybe we don't need to revisit that, but I think he's a very interesting actor. His career, took a little bit of an upswing after Lost. Like I said, he was in the Christopher Nolan Batman.
He was in Law and Order, right?
I don't know.
Probably.
Maybe SVU, but
Everyone's in-
he is currently on the morning show.
Oh, look at that.
And he was also in Shogun with another Lost alumni.
Dogen.
Dogen, yeah. But he's almost unrecognizable in Shogun.
Who,
Richard? Richard, because he does have kind of sort of very, very short, like brush cut gray hair. And I think he gained a little bit of weight for the role.
I think that from the documentary, he looks exactly the same.
It seems to be true. Like,
He doesn't
he's
age.
not really aging. So, yeah, that's really interesting.
Obviously, Ben is my favorite character. I love him to death. Alex is my child. She is. I have a photo album called My Lovely Children, and she is one of them.
She went off to college, I know.
And
So you love...
And she... Can I talk?
Yeah, just let her finish.
Okay.
I have, like, the ones that make me mad, like Radzinski and
You
Roger.
love Radzinski.
I love Radzinski. I have the ones that actually make me mad, like,
Sayid.
no. Nope. Like, Jack.
Yeah.
Because I still like Jack. But Richard is the one that I can just watch and be like, oh, Richard, like, we love you, Richard.
That's true.
Because he's a comfort character, and that's what
he's
it's called.
never annoying. He's never like irritating. He doesn't. Yeah, it's true.
And he's just so, like, calming.
We should mention that my sister, their aunt, actually named her car Richard Alpert. So we were gonna have her as a guest on this episode, but then Dono just elbowed his way in. So
Sorry, I didn't know.
no, we're very happy to have you.
Yeah.
Also, she didn't want to.
Yeah. She didn't seem too excited about it, but maybe she'll change her mind. And so, I believe it is time for
Our segments?
Some of our segments. So what do you want to do first?
Why don't you do the things going on around us, and I'll save mine for last.
Well, we have a few segments, actually. So first of all, what's happening in the world? Something awesome. Something really amazing and great happened last night. Dono's shirt is a clue. The Toronto Blue Jays are going to the World Series. This hasn't happened for 32 years.
Ooh, gotta go back in time.
My,
What was I gonna say? When you said 30 years ago, I legit thought it was the 70s just because of how much I've been watching
No,
Lost.
it was actually during
We're
the
not in
Purge.
the 2000s.
It was during the Purge years. It was like
Yeah.
92, 93. So.
Oh my, that's like,
So while
that's so scary.
So while Joe Carter was like hitting that home run, Roger was taking his last sip of Dharma beer.
No, it's not December
When he-
19th.
Yeah, well, that's right. It was a few months later, I guess. Okay, and then it's time for our shout out, and I think we have a pretty good shout
We have
out.
such a good one.
what is it again?
Annie's going to tell us
I'm
all
going
about
to
it.
tell us
Okay.
all about it. Because when me and Shawna was just being like, Radzinskier than you'd ever imagine because there was so much construction.
But
And-
before that, we should point out it was a kind of not a great weekend. We weren't having
Right.
a super fun Saturday.
Right, because we were trying to stalk these people that we think are from Lost.
and they weren't there.
And they weren't there. They weren't at the mall.
You guys are
And-
so odd.
So that was a bust.
Yeah, we were sad and we were just talking about like, man, this,
Plus, there was no hipper.
right, we wanted to get like, I lost Alex, the Smisky hipper for my phone, and it fell off. So, we were going to get a new one, but they didn't even have them. What?
So it was a series
It
of
was like-
disappointments.
Just like a series of unfortunate events. And, yeah, then then we, like, Shawna was stressing out because of this construction all over.
Everywhere I turned,
by my
the
school,
street was
actually, I'll
blocked.
mention. And Shawna's like, oh, okay, good, it's a detour. And we'd been talking about the Dharma vans because down that street, I'd seen an orange VW bus on my Terry Fox walk. And we were just talking about it, and she was like, yeah, I swear I saw a blue one, but...
And I think we were talking about, like, earlier in that same drive.
We were talking about that same
that
blue...
we should, like, have a tour, or, like, one day we should just drive around trying to find Dharma vans, and I was like, because I know I saw a blue one.
I kid you not. The second we said that, we turn the corner and I start screaming because it's the back of the Dharma van. And
So
Shawna,
she's going, Shawna, and I'm just like, what?
And it was there, the Dharma van. It was the Dharma van, and you're gonna have to put up the photos.
Yeah.
Because it was. I'm still in shock. I'm still in utter shock. And we got out, and I was like, almost crying or something, and it was just like beautiful, and like all those memories of the wondrous things that have happened in those buses.
But it was the exact
Fire,
right one.
Fire,
Roger dying,
kids bleeding. It's great.
Skeleton Roger. Like,
And
so many things.
and then they're very close to that neighborhood. We haven't actually talked about this. You're also gonna have to put up the photo for that. But
if I can find it, yeah.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
All around the city, people have been tagging lost.
Just like the letters.
Just
like
the letters.
Lost.
Lost.
They're trying to be annoying.
I don't think
or
so.
something.
They're trying to be misunderstood.
Mysterious.
And as just graffiti. And someone put it on this, like, what are they called? The electric boxes?
Yeah.
On the street that and one day we were just talking. This was a long time ago. This was like summer.
In the Dharma
And
Jeep.
yeah, and I look over at the Lost thing. Under someone's put up a picture of all the people from Lost on it, like one of those promo pics, and I start screaming, and we pull over and we take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Sadly, the stupid city took it down.
Well, someone took it down.
No, and they painted over the graffiti too,
Yeah.
so it was the city. And but that's not far away from the Dharma bus.
So we have a theory that maybe that's who put up that poster.
If you are watching this, you live in Saskatoon,
And you
and
recognize
you know
your Dharma van on our
yeah,
podcast.
like come on, let me be your apprentice.
Well, just
please.
let us like use it for photo shoots and like drive around in it.
But I also want to be the apprentice though.
Set fires in it.
Yeah, set fires in
No, we
it.
won't cause
kill
any damage
people.
to
Set
it.
fires in
No.
it to create distractions.
No.
No.
Run over others with it.
Put a
No.
bleeding kid in it.
Yeah.
No, just like a skeleton and the empty beer cans. That's all.
Okay. Well,
So that is our
it's a bit boring.
shout out.
That's our shout out.
And we
Yeah.
have a couple more segments.
Do you
just
have
kind
the
of piling
photo
them
of
all
them?
together.
We edited in.
Yeah.
So do you want me to do my what's up with that?
Yes, it's time for What's Up With That?
Which is a complete mystery. I don't know what it is.
What's up with that?
It's like, what's up with that?
I always do a little break so that you can put in the
exactly.
stuff. Anyways, I have not told these guys yet because it's such a good it's very underwhelming. I told my dad this coming home from school because I was just, In my fourth period, I had this group project with this guy named Jackson. And he's a good kid. He is actually one of the only guys at school who's nice to me. So, obviously, I'm going to be nice to him. And then, in English class, I also have that with him. We sit at the same table, like the same kind of table group.
So he's kind of like that kid from Clue.
No.
No, just let her.
Okay.
And I'm talking with my friend, and I'm slightly overhearing Jackson and his friend. And all of a sudden, they start talking about TV, and I'm listening. You know, you never know when you're gonna find another fan of something. And he's like, "Have you ever watched Lost?" And
No.
my head turns. Are you talking about Lost? And he notices my necklace, and he's like, I knew that was familiar. I was looking at that in fourth period, and I knew it was familiar.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, no way, someone my age knows Lost. And we had like a whole conversation about it, and it was like
Did his
a whole
favorite?
thing. I did. He stopped talking when he
Yeah.
got something wrong, and I corrected him on
Who's his
it.
favorite character?
Charlie. And
Well, this is very.
I yelled at my friend across the room. This is going to my friend because I yelled at her across the room. See, Lost does not make me an old lady because she likes this show called Yellow Jackets, which is
Yeah.
about a plane crash.
Right. It's not
And-
as good as Lost.
And she always makes fun of me because my plane crash show is dumb
But it's
and
better.
nerdy.
It's not though.
Well, it's pretty nerdy.
It's nerdy, but it's
yeah, like
better
this
than
kid who's like
Yellow
really
Jackets.
popular knew Lost. So
Very encouraging.
very hope is restored. He's probably, probably Richard Alpert is gonna give us a visit soon.
Tell you you're special.
Yeah.
Do you want to update everybody on the person in your English class that looks like young Ben, or
Oh.
kind of? So
It-
like that
there's
was
a
sort of the
non-verbal
high.
I was so
person,
and that was the
dumb.
low.
They know.
Yeah.
I was so sad because I just harassed this poor kid.
Do you?
I just like.
In what way?
I like your clothes. Where do you
Oh.
get them from? And she has
Because
her
you're trying to
headphones
get
on.
her to talk.
And yes, she has
Okay.
her headphones on, and she's like, "Huh." And
You're
I was
trying
like,
to be the.
"So where do
Annie
you get them?" And
to
she's
the
like,
young Ben.
"What?" And I just walked away because that was so embarrassing. But young Ben is losing it, guys. She's losing it because she dyed her hair green.
Yeah.
She dyed her hair green.
So it doesn't look as much like young Ben anymore.
No. Like, the face is just, like, still so surprising to me because it looks like young Ben. The glasses, everything, but...
So just in case people missed the Coming Up Roses episode where we talked about this, Annie has someone in her English class that looks remarkably like young
Like,
Ben.
it's a girl.
Yeah, but still, it looks
And she's
still
nonverbal.
like Ben.
the less they talk, the better. But... Man, like, maybe I should reevaluate myself because
You should
now that
find
I think
out-
about it, like, I'm just harassing this kid.
Well, I
Annie,
think
no,
you're
wait,
just
wait,
trying
wait.
to make
You
friends
should-
with her.
You should. Well, it's so funny that this person who looks exactly like young Ben was greeted by a girl named Annie.
Yeah.
But you should make her like, because the first time young Ben is also nonverbal, so you should like make her.
Carve her doll?
You should carve her doll. It's for her birthday, and then give
No.
it to her and like,
That's,
no, never have
that's
to be apart.
taking it too far.
I think that would be
Yeah.
a bit of
I
harassment.
know.
We're already stalking like two people. We're stalking like
He's talking
people
like
in the
10
mall,
people.
and now we're stalking the van. So maybe we'll just
And
kinda-
that one guy
But
from
yeah,
the
pretty
restaurant.
good, what's up with that, huh?
Very good. What's up with that? Excellent. Well, I hope that the hot take is going to match the height of all these other segments.
It
And
doesn't.
because we have our special guest, as you know, when we have a special guest, they get to do the hot take. So take it away, Dono.
My hot take's not very good, but Richard Alpert is no one's favorite character, but no one hates him.
Mm-hmm.
No one hates him, but he's no one's favorite character.
I think there might be some people out there that would pick him as their favorite
Some
character.
people, but he's not like
He's unhateable.
like so many people. He's unhateable. Yeah, he's unhateable.
Some people have weird opinions.
Some people like
like
a lot
hating on the wrong characters.
Mhm.
like some strange people like Ben the best. Some psychopath out there.
Some people don't have favorite characters.
Anyways,
My favorite character is Jim LaFleur.
I'm going to like try to intervene here.
Good luck.
But you know, Annie and I often talk about like the slim pickings for men in like
Desmond.
the Dharma times, and also for the others, like Alex specifically. But like Richard Alpert is a pretty good looking other,
Yeah.
you know, comparatively speaking. So.
Ethan.
Oh yeah.
You're like,
Ooh.
oh, Ethan.
Well,
So I was
really,
like, well, the others
Yeah.
aren't that bad, but
And Tom's pretty ugly too. He's not that bad though. He's like
Tom's okay.
Tom's a teddy bear.
Tom's not for the girls.
Yeah, he's gay.
But yeah, let's. Are we done the podcast?
I think we're just about done.
need to make
Who
a
knows
list of
how
train
long
wreck.
we've been talking because we
Yeah.
took a little break in between. But this has been very exciting to have a special guest keeping us on our toes and doing impressions. So we just want to
Arguing
thank,
with Annie.
yeah, we just want to thank Dono for joining us. I don't want to kind of oversell our next episode, but
We thought of a pretty good hot take.
yeah, so as we're talking and doing our pre-show meeting, we started talking about another character, Horace, and we decided, we had so much to say. That's going to be our next episode.
So, I guess you're just going to have to wait and see, huh?
But we came up with some pretty great theories.
So,
I think.
such
Yeah.
great theories. Okay,
Well, before you ended this show, I just wanted to say that this was lots of fun. Thank you for having me, and I'd like to do this again sometime.
Well, we enjoyed having you. So I usually say namaste. Annie
And
says,
see you in another life, brother.
is there anything you'd like to say? Any catchphrase?
Not Penny's boat.
Not Penny's boat.
Razzle freaking dazzle.
All right, and on that note,
Bye, guys.
thank you for joining us. Bye.